Hello everybody, today I decided to do George Peppard. He is the video. What it was is when I was looking, because I think, well, who does he look like? He's overlaid with Glen Campbell. And if everybody can just take into account that Glen Campbell is about 20 years younger in his picture than George Peppard is in his. And sometimes it is quite difficult to match up their stance because you could be looking left, one would be looking down, one would be looking up. I just want you to see that it may not even be Glen Campbell, but that George Peppard is other people. And I couldn't think who it was, but what we've noticed now is if they're an actor, then they've got to be a singer as well, because you know we've just done that one with Morgan Freeman, you know, Jimi Hendrix, that Luther bloke. I mean, when you look at that, they do look pretty alike, don't they? I'm going to talk a little bit more about George Peppard in a minute because of the footage, because obviously I watched that and I've just put in pictures over the top of the rest of it. But they do look quite similar, don't they? He's also got the $6 Million Man nose as well at the end, that Glen Campbell. Anyway, this is Glen Campbell when he's older. He still looks pretty like George Peppard, doesn't he? And they're sort of about the same age in the photographs. I mean, he does look quite like him, doesn't he? Glen Campbell. And then that's Glen Campbell when he's younger. And they do look quite alike, don't they? In this maze of madness that they've made for us. And then that's him when he's a bit older, but he still looks, to me, he looks a bit like him, quite a lot like him. The only thing is, in that picture, George Peppard has his eyes closed. And yeah, it is a little bit hard sometimes to match them in. If I make his face smaller, I make his chin smaller. But they do all that. They mess around with the hair and the eyes and the voice. They do all that. Otherwise, we'd have all recognised them much more earlier on. And I mean, the names are coming at me right now, so everybody else has noticed. I mean, look, it could be him. There's always something about the eyes, when you look at their eyes. They're not looking the same way, so it's a little bit difficult. But, you know, when you see it. And, of course, Glen Campbell is older. And it seems that as we get older, we spread a bit more. So his nose could have got a lot bigger because he's older. But there's something not right with George Peppard's nose, but we'll have a look at that bit in a minute, like I said. And then I overlaid him and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's not him as well. That one's Andy Williams. How do we know? They don't look unsimilar, do they? I mean, they do look similar. They're multi-playing different roles. How do you not know that it's I don't know who's the anchor. It's George Peppard, I'll pick him.
Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Go and throttle up.
Sometimes it's just because you haven't got the picture lined up quite right. It can make a difference. But when you do, you realise how similar they are. Why does everybody look like everyone else? What do they have? You have 20 brothers and they're all playing the parts. You know, how did... This is incredible. It's ridiculous. I mean, he does look like Andy Williams. Oh. It does make your stomach sort of churn a bit when you think that they all could be actors. Yeah, the same actor. Might not be him at all. But they will be other people, and, you know, Andy Williams matches in quite a lot with him. And him is the other one. You can see. They must all play each other, or, I mean, look at their teeth. They've got the same teeth. You can see that. You don't get a good picture of George Peppard's teeth, but, you know, it's like, today you're Andy Williams. You're singing some sort of oldie-woldy song, and tomorrow you're George Peppard and you're racing across the screens and you're action-packed and all the women are going to fancy you. And then I know that Roger Moore is someone else, but when I was looking, I've done this a bit quickly, this one, all I could think of was that he looked like him. And then 77, 77. Remember I showed you a video when he went, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler. And what that person had done was they'd put, not Roger Moore, the other one, I'll tell you his name in a moment. They put him, Hua, and they put Anthony Hopkins together, and they were all the same person. And I'm thinking, what? Roger Moore is Anthony Hopkins again? But they do look quite similar. And of course this is, I'm going to tell you the name in a moment. That's him older, but he still looks quite like James Bond. Might not be him at all, but that was the person I picked for that. Maybe other people have got, I mean, there's got to be more than one James Bond. His face fits in and everything. The only thing is that this person is older than James Bond. His name is, I'm waiting for it. I can't remember his name now. Where's his name? It's coming. He was quite a famous actor in the 60s. There he is, Ed Burns. Yes, and there he is with Anthony Hopkins. Oh, look how alike they look. Just look how alike this person and this person are. Ed Burns Anthony Hopkins, Ed Burns, Anthony Hopkins. How come they just all look the same? Is that crazy or what? A little bit more like Root Hooger. And then this one, which is Kurt Russell and Jeff Bridges. I mean, they don't look alike, but they look exactly alike. What are they, lost brothers or something? Or they've got to be each other, and that's a bit crazy because their characters aren't alike. Anyway, they both have to be married to Goldie Hawn. But, well, in public that is. But they are the same people. What, is he a lost brother of his or something? So just, you can see it. So Jeff Bridges, Kurt Russell, Jeff Bridges, Kurt Russell. Whoa. Whoa. Mind-boggling. I'm always on a horror story. The horror story of the world. You've got the same left eye, or right eye for them, left eye for us. Their noses are pretty the same, so is their mouth, so is their chin. It is unbelievable. I mean, when they go into work, what happens is the director goes, oh, I've forgotten who you are today. Are you Jeff Bridges or are you Kurt Russell? Or Jeff, or I meant Kurt. I wonder if any of this happens. Or the film managers go, it's Kurt today, isn't it? No, it's Jeff. Like, you know, they're such different people, but look, they look identical. And I mean, that picture there of Jeff Bridges, you know who he reminds me of? The old, James Bond, the one before. I can't remember what his name is now. That's how else he looks like. I never would have said that before, but, whoa. And then, what it was is, on this piece here, I thought that was really strange, this bright light right on his eye there. And then as I slowed the footage down, I could see that there's these lines all over his eyes. And there's something wrong with his nose. There's a line which goes off, and there's something on here. And this is him talking. 1983. Do you see this bit on his nose? And then look at his forehead. Or let's go back to that bit. Sorry, I've gone too far now. There's that bit on his nose. When you see his forehead doesn't look right. So what is that? Someone acting at being George Peppard for the afternoon? Deep faked in? 1980s? Not quite there with the old. I mean, look at the top of his head. Do you see that that's a totally different colour to his face? So from his eyebrows up doesn't look right. Something wrong with his eyes, and there's something wrong with his nose. When I looked at that, that's when I started thinking, I know this person, but I mean, you can see the top of his head's not right, so that doesn't belong to that person. But I mean, oh, look at this. Do you see all the little zigzags on there? That's because he's deep faked in. Why not just tell us? Why not say George Peppard joining us from on a green screen? Then we'd know, wouldn't we? We'd know what the hell was going on. So, just a few pictures tells a whole story. So all I need is a few pictures. There, look at that. Look at his hair. Just look at those lines. We know what that means. We know that means that they're deep fakes. 1980s. No better then than they are today. And they've been doing it for a long, long time. Oh, now this one is Bob Seger. And you think, oh, it doesn't look anything like Bob Seger, but I think he does. Don't forget Bob Seger's the 60s, this is the 80s, this is 20 years on. You know, now he can, you know, then he looked like a hippie, now he doesn't. I mean, I think they're quite similar. You'll see in a minute with the rest of the pictures that I've done. But again, Bob Seger's got his eyes open and George Peppard hasn't. But, you know, it wouldn't take much to make him Seger. He's got that Beatles look, hasn't he? You know, that picture's saying that's a match, even though it's not. If I make his face a bit bigger, then it's not going to match in. I just wanted to give you the general idea. I think I make it a little bit, well, I do make it a little bit bigger. Sometimes it just doesn't make it, you know, the picture, it'll put the picture out. But, you know, it could have been Seger. You know, so you've got rock and roll, you've got acting, you've got oldie woldie. I mean, wow, what a brilliant actor they are. That's all I can say. How can all these people look like each other? This is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, that's the end of the video. What do you all think?